class 10. Today we will start with a new chapter, household circuits. Okay, chapter 9, household circuits. Now few portions are deleted from reduced from this chapter. So just like the first topic which you have, there is a power distribution. You don't have, but few things which you have, like advantage of main switch or the main circuit. So I just want to explain a bit in brief so that you just have the idea. You don't have to study for exam, but you just have the idea so that all of a sudden if you just start reading the components or say the few portions which are there from the chapter, 9A, so it will be a bit confusing for you. So I'll just give you a short explanation. So I hope you know that for the household purposes, say like at our homes, we consumers, what is the voltage that we actually use? 220 volt supply. I hope you have this idea. You have come across this word, I'm sure many quite a times when the electrician comes to your house, right? So it's 220 volt supply which we consumers use. Okay. Now at the power generating station, that means where the power is being generated, which is being supplied to our houses, in that power generating station, the power is not generated at 220 volt. Why? It's not directly generated at 220 volt and being supplied. It is first generated at 11 kilovolt. Not higher than this, not much, 11 kilovolt is, they found that it's a optimum value. At this value of the voltage, if the power is being supplied, it is found that it's very convenient. Now, why do we prefer to generate the power at a very high voltage? Now, notice the thing. I hope you remember this relation. So, for supplying a certain amount of power, electric power, if voltage is increased, then current will decrease. P constant, because we are supplying the same power, okay, the electric power. So a certain power we want to supply. So for that certain power, that means, just imagine, then P is constant, then V is inversely proportional to the current. That means more is the voltage, less is the current. So that's why, suppose if I use a very low voltage supply, suppose the power is generated at a very low voltage, current will be more, V is less, I is more, current is more. Do you remember? Heating effect of current is directly proportional to I square RT. So current is more. This expression, the value of this expression is more. That means the heating effect due to current is more. So that means while supplying the power, that means a lot of energy will be wasted in the form of heat if we supply the current. If we supply the power at a very low voltage, then that means a huge amount of current will be flowing, and as a result of which huge amount of heat loss will be produced. Heating effect of current, so a huge amount of energy will be wasted. We don't want to do that. That is why initially voltage is very high. The power is generated at a high voltage. Voltage is high, that means current is low. That means the heat loss will be low now. Much electrical energy will not be wasted in the form of heat then. Due to the heating effect of current, we have learned about this Joule effect or the heating effect. So that is why. Now, why not even more than 11 kilovolt? It is an optimum value they found, which is very suitable for generating the power at the power generating station. Because if we choose a very high voltage, then also it will create a problem, because it's very difficult to insulate the wires when we are sending a very high voltage power supply. I don't know whether you know this. In 11 or 12, when you do the practicals, you will notice that whenever we will use the wires in the labs, when we have to make the connections, we have to use the wire cutting instruments, the pliers. We have to cut the wires not cut the wires actually. They have the wires are actually covered with the insulating layer. So we have to open that layer. You will find that sometimes it's when it's blue or red colored coating is given, insulated coating is given over the wire. When you cut a small portion of it, you will notice the copper wires coming out. Then we make the connections. Why is it done? Because to protect the conducting wires from the damage or the wear and tear by rough handling. That's why, okay. Now, from 11 kilovolt, it is actually at different steps, it is derived to 220 volt. Notice that from 11 at a certain substation, it's the main power generating station. From there 132 kilovolt. How are we increasing the voltage? This time you don't have transformer also, so unfortunately I won't be able to explain that. Just know that transformer is a device which can actually change this, either increase or decrease the EMF of alternating current. Alternating current means which can change its magnitude and direction over a period of time. Direct current, we will do that. We will do direct and alternating current. So direct current means throughout its magnitude and direction remains same, but alternating current, we represent alternating current like this. Its direction and magnitude, it changes. Okay. So alternating and transformer will work only on alternating current. Okay. So that's why at the power generating station, alternating current is produced. And then at the substation, see, sometimes it is increased, the voltage is increased. When we want to increase the EMF of an alternating current, we use step up transformer. When we want to decrease the EMF of the alternating voltage, we use the step down transformer. Okay. So this voltage, this power supplies, these are supplied to different industries. Say different industries need different voltage power supplies, right? So they are supplied. And finally at the city substation, 220 volt is generated, which is supplied to us, the consumers. Okay. Now from this city substation, this 220 volt power supply is supplied to our house. You will find three types of wires, either overhead wires, or you may have noticed the utility poles which support the overhead wires. So either you have the overhead wires, or nowadays we often find underground wires, so that due to the heavy rain or thunderstorm, the wires don't get damaged. That's why nowadays they prefer underground wires. So whatever it is, be it the overhead wires or the underground wires, three types of wires we find which actually helps to supply this power. From the city substation, this 220 volt power supply is being supplied to us, the consumers. Okay. So what are the name of the three wires? We have three types of wires. One is the live wire. Live wire actually carries the current from the city substation to the houses. Then we have neutral wire. Neutral wire, it's a path for the back flow of current. Obviously, suppose current is flowing, okay, you have a bulb here. This is a power, say a cell. current is flowing to this bulb. If I disconnect here, will the current be able to flow there? Is there a complete path of the flow of current? No. It needs a backflow path also. So, from the city substation, if the live wires carries the current to the household supplies, we need a wire which will actually provide the path for the current for the backflow. Complete circuit, right? So neutral wire does that job. And we have earth wire. We have an earth wire. What is the need of earth wire? We'll come to know. We'll do each and every component, okay? So this neutral and earth wire are connected at the same potential in the city substation. That is at 0 volt potential. Okay? Now, I'll just explain a bit in brief about how power is being distributed. So just see that, say from the city substation, you have the cable or the overhead wires which are actually running and supplying the power to your house. Okay, so first, before it enters, the kilowatt hour meter. Do you remember the kilowatt hour commercial unit for electrical energy? So kilowatt hour meter, that is a meter box which generally is there in the front side of your house. So from there, the meter readings can be taken, okay, because how much electrical energy has been consumed, etc. So notice that before this, the wires, they are actually entering the kilowatt hour meter. Can you notice a device over there or something I've drawn? What is this? This is actually a fuse. Okay, what is fuse? We'll learn. Okay, don't worry. This is known as the company fuse, because only the company people, they can only handle this fuse. Okay. Notice that the fuse is connected in the live wire, isn't it? What is a live wire? It is actually carrying the current from the mains, right? Okay. Now the kilowatt hour meter, what is this? This means that the kilowatt hour meter is locally earthed. That means in the compound of the house, the earthing is done. How is this earthing done and what is the purpose of earthing? We'll do that also individually. One by one, we'll do everything. Okay. Again, connections again from kilowatt hour meter to a main switch. Main switch in your house. Okay. From kilowatt hour meter, the connections are now running to the main switch of your house, which obviously you can operate for. If you switch it off, all the whatever appliances you have in your house, whatever you have, everything will be switched off. This main switch is a type of switch which you will learn when we do switch. It has got a certain advantage. The main switch, notice that it is connected with live and neutral wire both. That means if we switch it off, connections from both live and neutral wire are cut off simultaneously. Okay. Now, from the main switch, now the connections run to the distribution box in your house. Distribution box, you will, in my house I have the board in one of the living rooms. So I have this distribution box board where you will find many fuse, either fuse or we use a substitute of fuse nowadays known as MCB. MCB or fuse. We either use fuse or MCB. What is MCB? Miniature circuit breaker. We'll do that also. Don't worry. I just want to explain a bit in brief about the power distribution. That's why. What is MCB? What is fuse? We'll do that. Here, so these are the basically fuse or MCBs. Main fuse or MCBs in the distribution box. This is a distribution box. Okay. From this distribution box, wires run around each portions of your house, supplying the power to each portions of your house. And again, you have wires returning back to the distribution box, obviously to complete the path of the current. So basically, from this distribution box, you get connections to different parts of the room, different rooms of your house. Okay, you will have different MCBs or fuse over there in the distribution box, because from there actually we take from, see, notice that the main fuse or the MCBs are connected only with a live wire. So since you don't have the ring house wiring ring system this year, so I'm not going into that portion, that how the connections are made from this distribution box. Okay, so this is just a basic structure. So from this portion you have, say in your exam, like main switch, advantage, then the main circuits, the three wires, live, earth, neutral. So you won't get questions from how the power is being distributed or those portions, but I'll just send you the portions which you have in the exam, which you have to learn for your exam. But I just wanted to describe a bit in brief. Okay. Okay, let's start with the switch. Okay. Now, what is a switch? You obviously know. It's actually the on-off device for any appliance, and switch is of two types. Okay. Single pole switch, that means the switch which we generally use for any appliance. So basically when we switch, when we put it on, the appliance will start working. When we put it off, the appliance will start or it will stop working. And why is it known as a single pole switch? Why? That is because the single pole switch means this type of switch, which is generally used for the appliances, they are connected only with the live wire. The live wire. That means when it is off, it connects disconnects the connection with the live wire. Its connection with the live wire is disrupted. Okay, but neutral wire is still there. And double pole switch, remember I have told you while we were doing main switch, the main switch in our house, that is the double pole switch. That means, when, what is the advantage of main switch which we have learned? When we switch it off, then it disconnects or the connection with the live as well as the neutral wire, both are disconnected simultaneously. Okay. Now, a dual control switch is a special type of double pole switch. Dual control switch or the staircase wiring, this time you don't have. Okay. So I won't go into that. Now let's learn why the switch is always connected in the live wire. We'll do it for the, that means switch means for the appliances. Why do we connect the switch with the live wire? Okay. Now see. Suppose this is the switch. I hope you remember in class 9 we have done how we represent switch. This is in on position. That means when the bulb will be glowing. Switch is on and switch is off. That means bulb is not glowing. So suppose switch is on, bulb is glowing. I have connected the switch with the live wire. I have connected the switch in the live wire. When where will the which wire is responsible for carrying the current from the supply? Live wire. This serves as a back flow path for the current, neutral wire. Now when the switch is on, current is flowing, complete flow, the path is complete, so current is flowing, bulb will glow. When the switch is off, is it possible for the current to flow? No, because circuit is broken, incomplete circuit. Now, but the bulb is still connected to the neutral wire. But will it cause any problem? No. But you imagine, if I have connected the switch with the neutral wire, when the switch is on, fine. It is working, the current is, live wire is carrying the current, so it's from the supply, so going and again coming back, circuit complete, bulb will glow. But when the switch is off, then also it is working, switch is serving its purpose, current flowing but incomplete path for the current to flow. So obviously path is incomplete, so current bulb will not glow, right? Here the path is incomplete, so bulb will not glow. So the switch is serving the purpose. Switch is off, bulb is not glowing. But the bulb is still connected to the live wire, which is at a high potential. Live wire is carrying the current from the, say from the distribution box. We have got from different portions of the room, we have got different wires which carries the current. So live wire is carrying the current. Live wire is still connected, bulb is still connected with the live wire which is at high potential. So if you want to carry out any repairing work, or if you want to touch the bulb at that time, suppose if you want to carry out any repairing work with the bulb in this manner, obviously you will get a shock because the bulb is still connected to the high potential live wire. Okay, so that's why we always connect it to the bulb to the switch with the live wire, so that it can disconnect the connection with the high potential wire when it is not working, when the switch is off. Okay.